Good morning, Year 5. Mrs. Crowter back again in my room this morning, and I believe that we're working on looking at different types of bridges. What we're going to do today is look at some different styles of bridge. We're going to examine them from the point of view of an architect. Now, the main idea of an architect is to consider how something is actually built. That's very useful for designing and making your own model. Drawing it can help you to solve problems, to decide on the structure and the materials you might use. So if you have a look at some of the designs that we've got here, these will appear later on the hub for you to have a look at. Now, when I started on this, I had no idea how many different types of bridges there were. I was quite surprised, and the more research I did on it, the greater the amount of bridges I came across, which really surprised me. There are many bridges that you will recognise. Beam bridges, this one, of course, the Golden Gate Bridge, which is a type of suspension bridge, and something I hadn't realised, a tower bridge is called a double leaf bascule bridge, which actually means a drawbridge. I wonder if you can find out how that actually works by doing some research. This one's a very famous bridge. It's in Shropshire. It's called Iron Bridge, and it's the first bridge actually to be made out of cast iron. It's near Telford, and that's a nice view of it from someone who's actually sitting on the river. So you can see very clearly there, it's an arch style bridge. This one's called a truss bridge. It looks to me like it might be used for trains to go across, because I think I've been on a train when we might have gone over a truss bridge. So I won't show you any further ones because these are going to be on the hub a bit later for you to have a look at and examine. If you forgive me a moment, I'm just going to move the camera down so that you can have a look at some of the resources and some of the drawings I've been working on. I'm just going to move the camera very slightly. Hopefully it won't make you too giddy. There we go. So the materials that I gathered together to do my sketch were a sketchbook, a bit of paper, and a very sharp pencil. And this is a H pencil. I don't know if you can see that there. That means it's a hard pencil. It's not soft like sketching pencils that get very smudgy. This one will make a nice hard line. In fact, I've also gone over this in biro to make it stand out for the video, so you'll be able to see it a bit more easily. So I decided I'd like to have a go at making a truss bridge. I haven't made it yet, but I've just come up with a little design. What you will notice is some of the design features are actually based on triangles. And we know from looking at ancient pyramids that the triangle is one of the most stable structures, so I thought I'm going to include that in my design. What I did was I actually produced a line that is divisible by 3 so that I could make sure any pillars that I made were equally spaced apart. It was a problem I kind of had to solve as I went along. The same with the height. I thought, well, I've popped the height in there, and of course I want it to come down and I want it to be symmetrical on both sides. So I did a measurement in the middle, which is 8 centimetres, and I labelled that. And obviously I wanted it to come down as it went towards the edge of the structure. So I thought, well, if I make that 2 centimetres smaller, that's 6 centimetres and 4 centimetres, I just labelled it as I went along. The thing, of course, is that if I want to make this structure using card or some of the materials that I've got here a bit later, then I'll have my measurements already laid out. What I've done is, this is my thinking here. This is me thinking about how I'm going to make it. Where might I join these bits together? So this is my drawing is my thinking. So I'm going to pop that down for a second and then think about the tools that I might use for making this project. So of course we've got a hard pencil, and if I wanted to go ahead and actually make my model, I could use, let's have a look. I had to raid the recycling this morning, so cereal packets and a bit of sellotape, bits of wool maybe for tying things together. I found some parcel tape from Christmas, that was quite good. And I raided the cupboard and suddenly found I've got lots of these sticks left from air fresheners that were in the cupboard. I thought I'd keep them and I'd forgotten they were there, so that was quite handy. And they smell quite nice as well. Glue tack. So I just wandered around and generally found some things I think might help me. I don't know if they will, but I've gathered some bits together to start myself off. So if you have a look at the drawings that are on the hub, the designs that you might consider trying when you're drawing a model are on there. Now, looking is a key skill, so it was very careful for me to observe the shapes that I was going to work on, and to make sure that I didn't miss any vital parts of the structure. So for instance, if I'd missed out this part, there would be nothing to hold it up. If I'd missed out the the legs at the bottom, then there'd be nothing to hold it up. So what are the key points? Well, with an architectural sketch, what you're doing is you're solving problems to do with structure, design, load and support, to make sure that it doesn't look like there's got any weak points in it. So, you know, what will you use? What design will you use? How will you join your structure? What's your favourite design? I guess you'll be solving problems as you go. Now, this video will be on the Goring Hub, along with pictures that will be on there. So, you know, have some fun. Don't forget to send us your photos if you'd like to send them. We'd love to see them. And if you just want to do drawing, that's fine. If you'd like to go ahead and make your model, that's fine as well. Okay, you have a good day, and we'll look forward to seeing some of your work in a couple of days maybe.